Hi everyone, this is Megan Van Petten.
And this is Lindsay Poss. You're listening to the EsportsNext podcast. Here, we will highlight the fantastic guests and speakers of the EsportsNext conference.
EsportsNext 2022 is presented by Morgan Stanley and is located in Sweet Home, Chicago. Don't forget to register to secure your spot at the conference and enjoy the show. Hello, and welcome to this episode of EsportsNext podcast, the official podcast of the EsportsNext conference. I'm Megan Van Petten, and I'm joined by my friend and co-host, Lindsay the Boss Poss.
This episode, we are delighted to welcome Brian Wilneff, who has now become a friend of the show. He is also the CEO at Alpha Metaverse Technologies. Brian, welcome to the show. I would love for you to give us the background on Alpha Metaverse, how you got there, and what you do.
Hey guys, thanks so much for having me on here. I'd be happy to. So a little bit of background on myself, where I started out of the esports and video game space. I started a company called Gamers Arena back in 2016. It's an online tournament platform where people can play video games for cash and prizes. In 2018, I went through an accelerator program based out of St. Louis called Stadia Ventures, who I know we're all connected to there as well. In 2020, I was acquired by a group out of Vancouver called Alpha Esports at the time. My role there was to stay on as COO within Alpha. And then in May of 2021, we went public on the Canadian Securities Exchange and over the counter in the States. And then this year in January, I took over as CEO of Alpha, now Alpha Metaverse Technologies. A little bit about Alpha. We are a company that invests and acquires businesses that are in the Metaverse and Web3 space with a core focus on gaming. So we have two primary assets underneath our banner. The first one being Gamers Arena, which came with my acquisition, allows us to reach end consumers through gaming and introduce them to Web3 application. Additionally, with that, we have created a SaaS platform called Mana, which empowers companies and brands to utilize a fully customizable white label service to run their own video game activations and tournaments natively on their own ecosystem, on their app or website, or both. We also have another company called Shape. Shape is a video game and metaverse builder. And they allow us to create amazing projects within Web3 or NFTs, 3D web design, and web assets, as well as AR and VR functionality.
And that's all. So, Brian, we had the opportunity to judge last week with Stadia, and you certainly are a successful person that has gone through the program. What big shoulders you've been, around the last couple of years, from concept to getting accepted through the program, getting your company acquired and going public. I can't imagine how much of an undertaking that took. So for starters, I just want to say a big congratulations to you. I'm so excited that we're neighbors.
Thank you.
Here in Chicago.
Absolutely.
Tell me, I love to ask people that have had your sorts of success, what kind of mentorship, have you leaned on? Because this is no small feat. It really takes something.
Yeah, absolutely. And thank you so much for that. For me, the individual that I was lucky enough to look up to as a mentor was my grandfather. With him, he really set the standard for me and what I wanted to achieve within my life and business, and as well for family. Being able to grow up with such an amazing influence in my life, along with my parents and my grandmother, I was able to really cross over as a young adult after college and take a look at what a successful business person looks like within my grandfather as well. He started his own company in the 80s and grew that to a very successful company. And it was a really special time for me to be able to cross over from just grandson to peer. And to really understand what it takes to put in all of that effort with so much uncertainty, right, at the start, because you don't know whether or not things are going to be successful. Right off the bat. So having that so close to home and really be able to step through in that admiration and love as a grandchild to really that peer was amazing for me. And it's something that helps me stay focused and continue to strive for the type of looking to make him proud as I continue to go forward.
I love that. And I'm actually going to tap on a story that Meg told me about her own grandfather, who I knew she was very close to. One of the things that she told me was that he taught her was how to be a lifelong learner. And as he was adapting himself to the internet and learning all the applications on there, he would say, Yahoo me, instead of email me to her. So she told me that story, which I thought was so special. But the lesson I took from that is to always be open and adaptable and learning new things. And especially as you're moving more into the Web3 and crypto space, how are you continuing to learn, and who are you following to learn, or what organizations, or how do you get all of your new information and stay on top of trends and info and all that good stuff?
Yeah, that's an amazing question. So it's part of what keeps things fresh and exciting in our space, video games, and then Web3 Metaverse, is that I'm learning things every single day on all of the calls that I have with people in different parts of the business. The space is evolving very quickly. So what may have been viewed as standard 6 months ago has changed rather significantly. And, there's a bunch of other factors around from the market or other conditions. But really what we look to focus on here, and why we're certain of this being the next iteration of the internet, is the technology that's being developed is the infrastructure for the rest of our internet to transition over onto. So for us, really the approach that we take is we're not looking to bring crazy concepts to what currently exists, right? We want to help a seamless transition occur where people are not even aware that they're operating now, whether it's on blockchain or Metaverse or Web3, however you want to frame it, to help introduce this new crossover. So it may not be Yahoo me, right? But it is something else here as we're developing through.
That's really great. Thank you. We are so delighted you'll be speaking at the conference and sharing some wisdom. So your panel is how to fund our favorite activities, which is really an exciting panel for so many. Can you give us a little bit of a teaser?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm very excited as well, and thank you so much for having me there. Esports and video games, right? They're hand in hand here. One comes from the other, and you see a lot of amazing things with esports. You also see some challenges. Part of that is monetization. That has been a very significant roadblock for the space as a whole. You really see publishers, hardware providers, and a small group of professionals and influencers making the money in our space. And so esports needs to figure out how do they reach that end customer and monetize, right? That's how we're going to sustain those areas. One part that I think is important is being able to expand past just the high level individuals that want to also compete, right, is really to expand to those more casual people that are sitting on their couch, right, playing video games with their friends, and how to reach them on their couch or at their computers and figure out where they can work with them there to monetize. One of those structures are community-based tournaments where you can have subscriptions or sponsors or prizing where it's not all so heavy. Right. It's not all so competitive, but casual and fun. And it's something that you can develop and do with your friends, which we'll talk about, I believe, much more in detail at the conference.
I always say people that play together stay together.
Yeah, which I really like. I know that you also have another partner, your company, speaking at EsportsNext on a different panel, and hopefully we'll be able to you'll be able to have tons of those good conversations that you've been having. But what are you kind of looking forward to learning, or is there anything that you're looking forward to talking more about, especially being in the crypto and Web3 space? What are you looking forward to?
Yeah, I'm super excited to see what's being worked on right now all over the world and the country for everybody that's coming in, especially when it comes to Web3, blockchain. Video games are the leading edge, in my opinion, in this space. It's the easiest to consume for people. So if there are people that are working on those types of projects, that'll be amazing to see. But I really am excited to be able to meet with people in person and shake hands for the first time with many people that I recognize on these panels that, unfortunately we haven't been able to meet at these conferences over the past couple of years. So I'm very excited to network and connect with them and see where we can collaborate going forward, just to, really bring the space forward.
You're so special to our community, and thank you for being, part of the backdrop of Chicago and being such a gracious host. That I'm most excited to share our incredible city with, hundreds of people. We're 2 blocks from the lake. We're 2 blocks from Mag Mile. We're going to a baseball game. What's not to love?
Absolutely.
I really, really love Chicago. And thank you so much, Brian, for helping us host all of these people that we just can't wait to see again and meet, and again, just simply shake hands with.
Definitely.
I also want to put in a plug because this year we're partnering with the Children's Hospital, the Lurie Children's Hospital, and in doing some things over there. And of course, we were chatting with Brian about that this morning, and he mentioned that his sister is a doctor there, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
Yes.
Yes. So everyone should support the Impact Fund, support Lurie. That's going to be such a good partnership that we're really excited about. We have live streamers there to show the power of gaming for good in real life. And we're doing a really fun activation. They have a big booth that everyone should stop by. So lots of fun. I'm so excited about that. And I think that crossover is really funny then.
Yes,
of course.
Absolutely. It's really a great hospital and a great cause for you guys to run, hand in hand with what we're doing at the conference. It really was special to see you guys doing that.
Thank you. Is your sister Dr. Wilneff?
She is not.
Okay. No. Well, you can let me know later. So I think we're going to be giving the gifts to the children on Wednesday. So hopefully she has a shift. And
that would be great.
Yeah. And you can help us. 11 floors. So we have floor activity gifts, 450 beds. So we're really happy for this fundraise. We really appreciate the effort. And thank you for the plug. Boss always has it.
Well, I had to. That was too good of a connection to miss. Brian, as we wrap up here, what can you tell us about what lies ahead for the rest of 2022 and what's coming in 2023?
Yeah, so we have some exciting partnerships that we're going to be looking to announce here over the next 30 days or so. So keep on the lookout for that. Please do connect with me on LinkedIn. I post updates there. But we're super excited about a couple of these partnerships that we'll be announcing, and we believe it's going to empower us to do quite a bit more within our space and hopefully bring opportunity to everybody else around here that we'll be meeting this week.
That's awesome. And I know you already mentioned LinkedIn, but where else can people find and follow you or Alpha Metaverse?
AlphaMetaverse.com would be the best place to stay up to date and also take a view at our portfolio companies there as well. And if you ever have questions, reach out to me directly. LinkedIn is definitely that spot.
Well, perfect. Well, everyone, we are actually going to be releasing this episode during the conference. So everyone make sure to say hi to Brian while you're there. To learn more about EsportsNext or to find out what time Brian's panel is, because I actually don't have the agenda memorized off the top of my head, believe it or not. I'm close.
I believe we're 3:45.
Oh, good. I'm glad you know.
I think so, yeah.
That's the important part. But to visit the whole agenda, get the whole roster of speakers, visit esportsta.org and make sure to come join us in Chicago if you're not already there.